All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Mrs. Mildred Okonkwo. Let me make sure I give proper credit to whom is due. I dropped the link just in case you have a word you want to leave, because we'll be rounding up momentarily. Drop the link, but let me see this really quickly. I think I'll just, if you search for her, she comes right up, so I'm just gonna put it like that. Okonkwo. Okay. All right, let's play it.
What I've noticed women do is that women try to train their husbands and love their children instead of training their children and loving their husbands. And I'll give you a very clear example. These same scattered arguments, because we get it in counseling a lot. He's so disorganized, he's so scattered. I don't know why a grown man can't pick up after himself. If my man train now 30-something years, he no great train. You say I love him. Now it's not going to work. Meanwhile, your children will throw things on the floor, and you will come in and you will pick it up. You say, "Oh, Junior, why are you dirtying this place? Oh, don't be a naughty boy. Mommy loves you, boo, boo, boo. Don't do that again." And you will pick it up. When what you should actually do is make your child pick it up, and you go and help your husband pick his own. That's the way it's supposed to be. But we spend too much time. But what I've noticed.
All right, so there is a shift going on. Do you all agree with what she said, or there's a little bit of pushback? Let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about it. I don't think there's anything such as absolute truth anywhere. Everyone's experience is different, and we all tend to interpret these things with our experiences, right? With our filters. So there's a shift going on. Okay. About 20, 40, 50 years ago, we wouldn't argue. There wouldn't be any argument around this. But the truth is that today, our lifestyle is different. We're living that modern lifestyle. You know, we both put money into the pot. You know, we both put money into the pot, right? So clean up after yourself, right? But is that the same way you treat your children when they are being messy? Well, if you have teenagers, if you ever raised teenagers, you know what I'm talking about. That's going to happen. You know, of course, you should be asking them to clean after themselves, right? So there's multiple things there. The way she delivered that message seems a little bit absolute, okay? But I know that some people have some experiences that they're like, nah, clean on, you know, just like the other lady said. I forgot that name. They're called Marriage Inc. or something like that, from Hardly Initiated, right? Nah, you're a grown man. Clean after yourself, okay? But let's see if we can narrow things down a little bit, okay, to the point actually that she's trying to make. Key Pearl says, I don't date messy people. I know nobody dates messy people. They just end up getting married to them. They find out later on. I know exactly what you mean. They just find out later on that, wow, this aspect of life, you're a little messy in this aspect of life. It might not be their pata, their underwear on the streets of the hallway in the house. It might be something else entirely that you just didn't see coming. It's always something. It might be another form of underwear, okay? And they may just be messy and it irks you. It's going to be something that will come from a blind spot, right? So the idea that they drop their socks or their shoes randomly anywhere in the house, that's just a placeholder. Just think of this as anything else that you find more like, think of it as any type of, what's the word? Pet peeve. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay? Something, you're going to find something as a pet peeve once you end up in that marriage. It's a given. It's inevitable. There's no way around it. This is one of those things that you just have to experience first in order to gain the experience. Okay, it's just like when people say, oh, well, look, you're looking for a job but you need experience. Well, if you don't give me a job, how am I going to gain experience? Well, figure that out. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna happen. It might not be a socks. It might be a clean freak. It's OCD. It's always clean. That's what you fell in love with. There's something. There's gonna be something. Okay. If a person is not organized in their living space friend zone, I know, keepers. I agree with you. You know, until further notice, at least.
Well, you're right.
I agree with you. These kids we're enabling will grow up to be a replica of their fathers, and the circle continues. So now Natu is already ahead of it. We're trying to narrow down to what she's trying to say. There's a little bit of generalization of what she says. We all generalize, right? But she's trying to make a point that's very, very important, and we need to narrow it down. She's comparing one thing to the other, right? She's not talking about the exceptions. She's comparing you being very quick. You have a tendency to be very quick to tell your husband to pick up after himself. You will do that faster, right, than you would tell your kids to do it. And the tone in which you do it is a little bit more, you're supposed to be an adult to your husband, and to your children it's like, Junior, don't be a bad kid. That's particularly what she's talking about. Okay, she's not talking about all of the different nuances and exceptions, the what ifs. What if I've told him so many times, what if my kid's actually a killing freak and his father is just messy? He's not talking about the exception. He's talking about this particular scenario where you have a tendency, right, to love up on your children faster than you would give grace to your husband. That's what she's talking about, right? This kids, I agree with the training your child but not picking up after my husband. Oh, you don't agree with picking up after your husband? Yeah, I see. I feel you are enabling the husband's behavior, but I agree with not to. You're not enabling a husband behavior. He's a grown man. He's probably going to be like that for a long time. Oh, by the way, you probably overlooked it when you were dating. It just wasn't your pet peeve. You didn't see it that way. Maybe you had a cleaner. Maybe something happened. But he relaxed and he became his true self over time, just like all of us will. Okay? It's going to happen. Okay? So it's not about enabling him. I think the message is more about the tone, right? The message that she's giving is not about enabling the bad behavior. She's talking about the tone. Let's play it again.
Women try to train their husbands and love their children instead of training their children and loving their husbands.
All right, so she turned that into an absolute, and we know that there's all types of in-betweens, right, in real life. There's never one or the other in real life. But she's making a point. That tells you she's trying to make a point. So let's drill down that point.
And I'll give you a very clear example. These same scattered arguments, because we get it in counseling a lot. He's so disorganized, he's so scattered. I don't know why a grown man can't pick up.
All right, so he's so disorganized, I don't know why a grown man, all of that right there is exaggeration. Okay, this is the part where somebody would say, I'm invalidating people's experience. I beg to differ. Okay, anytime he's so, just watch yourself. Anytime you say he's so, he's always, he never, those are all exaggeration. Okay, they are your experience. I'm not invalidating your experience, but in reality they are all exaggeration. Okay, and but we tend to exaggerate our experiences, okay, because it feels like it's all the time. But if you really sit down and start doing the math, you'll find out that it just feels that way. It's not necessarily the reality. But I'll push back against myself. Feeling does become reality because you have to deal with it. Okay, these are the struggles, these are the issues. Okay, this is the issues you find everywhere. You're a liar. No, I didn't do that. Oh no, you're a liar. No, it's because people's experiences can be quite different. That's just the reality, right? Because the way it feels and the way their brain remembers it just feels like it's all the time. Key key thing to remember here. It's good for you to use this to self-reflect. Am I always saying he's so this, he's so that? What do you mean so? Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So the thing about, let me see, my pet peeve is the meat disappearing in my pot and leaving the soup. Yeah, that's not my wife's pet peeve. Let's just say that, because I'm that guy. Okay. Instead of nagging and fighting, I doubled the amount of meat she can, if you can afford it. And if you can't afford it, you better come up with a better tone to address it than treating him like his junior. That's the key thing in all of this. A lot of women are treating their husband like he's the teenager, because he's so wrong, he's always doing it, I don't want to enable it. Well, you're treating him like a teenager. You're going to create, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to get worse. Whatever it is that you're trying to fix there is going to get worse. There's nothing that good that comes out of a man that's being treated like a teenager. Okay, and if anything, it tells me that you lack game, because if you have game, you would never treat your husband like a teenager. Never. Okay, it doesn't mean you're not going to fix the issue, but you will come up with a better way to fix the issue without destroying the attraction in your marriage. That's really the point here. That's the point I'm extracting out of all of this. Okay,
after himself, if my man train now 30 something years, he no great train.
That's what she's saying. You're training. You're acting like you're training a teenager. It's a grown man. You're not going to affect anything, okay, positive, until you learn how to engage your seductive powers. Nothing good is going to come out of it. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about the husband you married. I'm not talking about somebody you're dating, that you're testing or vetting. Oh, that's an easy way to engage this conversation, and in real life it's not going to be that easy. You're going to feel like you're stuck with this person in real life, and you're going to need to come up with a better way to address these issues than to treat him like a teenager. That's what is going on here.
You say I love him, now you want, it's not going to work. Meanwhile, your children will throw things on the floor, and you will come in and you will pick it up. You say, oh, Junior, why are you dirtying this place? Oh, don't be a naughty boy. Mommy loves you. Boo, boo, boo. Don't do that again.
So, am I asking you, is she asking you to do that to your husband? No. But he's asking like, you know, babe, you left the socks here. Please, babe, can you please? That's the way you say that. You know what you do. You know what you used to do when you couldn't wait to move into his house, right? But somehow all of that has disappeared, because he's a grown man. He's supposed to just be a grown man. You're trying to train a grown man. Good luck. Good luck, right? Not to say, so the thing about picking about your husband is that behavior is who he is, and something that he will be a struggle to change, but your actions would help him change. Exactly. How you react to crisis in marriages is what's important. Okay, there will be crisis inevitably. It will come in small bits, it will come in large bits. It's how you react to it. Okay, and all of them are a test. It's always a test. Okay, it's not your partner deliberately trying to test you. It's just that you find yourself in the midst of life. Life will test you. Okay, and how you respond to those things is everything. Okay. So if you would respond to your junior like, yo, baby, don't be a boy, but if you would add some little banter to it and still find a way to correct it, why can't you do the same thing to your husband? Why? Because see finish don't enter. See finish will destroy everything for you. I promise you. And you will still be right.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. Nothing is going to take that away from you. You can still be right. And your results can be wrong at the same time. Okay? Why will I be cleaning up after a grown ass man? I know. You're gonna have to just experience it to see what we mean. Okay. If he relaxes, you just remind him gently to clean after himself. Maybe you get it already because you said gently. You used the word gently, right? All right. So if you're already using the word gently, that means you're getting what we're saying. That's actually the main point in all of this. It's not about the cleaning up after a grown man. It's about, wait, if it was your children, you probably will be more inclined to clean up after them. You will help them. You might scold them a little bit, but you will, especially nowadays, right? You will basically spoil them, give them a little bit more grace than you will give your husband. That's the whole point. It's not about the particular events, okay? It's the lesson, which is the tone, the way you say what you say is much more important than what you're saying. That's the reality about human beings in general, okay? If you're not married, you won't get what she's saying. Yeah, it takes a minute. It's okay. That's fine. Having hired help to clean can help alleviate that stress. Yes, key pearls, that particular stress. However, other stress, energy is neither created nor destroyed. The other stress will come up in other ways. So that's why I said it's not about the particular events. It's about just understanding this as a concept, right? It could be anything else. It could be, I don't know. I'm not a billionaire, so maybe I'll be able to tell you the type of stress that billionaires go through. It will show up if you're having a human experience, it will show up in another way. And it's about learning that this is just all emotional brouhahas that you need to learn how to navigate, right? If you cover this one end with maids, other things will show up. Okay, maybe the next time you show up is when you guys start to jackpot and you can't afford to take your maid with you, right? Oh yes, we absolutely have one pet peeve or another in the marriage. Yes, we do. I get you. I'm not married, so I don't really get it. Oh, Kathy, that's why. But that's okay, But you will remember this conversation always, and you just know that it's not about not correcting, but it's about how you correct it. It's about the tone. It's about paying attention, right, to some of these things that will come from a blind spot. Blind spot meaning you couldn't read it in the book. I couldn't have prepared you for it. The best I can do in preparing you for it is, hey, there's going to be some things that will happen. It will test you. It will test everything you've ever believed in, everything you've ever identified with, and you will have a urge to blame your partner for it. Okay, and then you know that, oh no, we're here together. This is an opportunity for growth, right? Yeah, this is an opportunity for growth. Absolutely, marriage will test you, and it's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It becomes a bad thing if you respond the wrong way to it. Okay, we're exactly at 10:59. Awesome. Let me see here. I think there's something here that I can pull out really quickly. I wanted to go to, because I found that video posted by Instablog Nigeria. I think one of those blogs posted it. There you go. All right, good. All right, so I found some comments. Okay, so it was actually Woli Agba who posted it. Okay, let me share this with you really quickly. Let's take another 3 minutes or so, right? Let me share this. Share screen. Shout out to all 26 of you, 25 of you watching live. I appreciate you. Don't forget to share. There you go. All right. So let's go through this comment and just end tonight with some of the comments. The real Simi Coca says, nah, all of them will pick it up by themselves. That's an example of person who doesn't get it, which is fine. Okay. They don't get it. Now, that's the most popular comment here, apparently. Then somebody says, may God bless you. Why should I be responsible for irresponsible adults? If that's what you're taking away from that lesson, these are classic textbook reasons why marriages are not lasting. It's not because somebody is wicked and evil and It's not. These are the little things that adds up that makes people end up in divorce court. Okay? It's not because of the pattern and the socks. I promise you. It is not. Okay? It's because of all these nuances, right? Alright, so. But again, if you're lucky enough when you're going through the experience, the consequences will not be too much. You can get through it, pass through it, and be better on the other side, right? What did I am TT Edo says? Everybody pick up after yourself, Biko. Keep in mind that I don't disagree with this today. It's just that wasn't a lesson, that's all. Okay. That has nothing, almost nothing to do with what she's saying. Let me see. Somebody said, may God bless you. Why should I be responsible for irresponsible adults? Okay. Let me go to the next one. This next one says, I don't quite agree with her. Black Maggie says, I don't quite agree with her. I'm not married yet, but every adult should be able to take care of themselves. They missed it. So, you know, this is how you know they missed it. The person making this comment did not make mention of the junior part. The picking up after the junior part. They didn't mention that, right? Well, the kind of indirectly they mention it because junior is not an adult. So wait, if you're picking up for junior when it's not an adult, what do you think is going to become when it becomes an adult, right? You know, so because Mrs. Mildred did mention, his mama no train, I'm 30 years, right? She did mention that a person was raised a certain way. You go there, you marry them, but then you disengage from your seductive powers. Okay, your words are powerful. Okay, especially you ladies, your words are powerful. They can make, break, build, destroy. It's not bad if a wife tidies up after her husband, but it cannot be done all the time. That's still not the point. You can even tidy up the house all by yourself all the time. That's still not the point. She's not asking you to be the one tidying up the house all the time. That's not the point. Parents should train their children to be responsible. That is completely far from the point. You're trying to fix a past problem that is dead already. It's now your problem. You're trying to have someone in the past to fix it. That doesn't work either. Okay? This is like saying, oh, everybody should just make sure they marry their friend. Bruh, that doesn't solve marriage problems, okay? Not especially if they're already in the marriage, okay? It's about how you respond to crisis. It's not about preparing that there will never be crisis. What a lot of people are talking about in a lot of marriage and relationship seminars is how to prepare for a situation where there will never be crisis. It's literally impossible, okay? People should train their children to be responsible. That doesn't mean those children will not become a pain in the butt for a partner one day. It's not relevant, right? Because if they don't, it will affect the children even in their 50s. Has nothing to do with nothing. These are the issues. People are looking for perfect life. It's unrealistic expectations that's destroying marriage. Okay, let me read one more. Wait, so she should let a grown man dirty the room? Even Oga, there are so many men that don't get it either. They don't get it. Even Oga, Femi no get them. Right? Loving you also include helping you be a better person. Yeah, but what she's talking about is how you do that. Okay? Even ladies don't like to be treated like children. Right? They don't, when you're talking to them, they don't like to be talked down like children. Do you like your husband talking down on you like a child? Never mind his intentions. It feels that way. If it feels like that on your end, wouldn't you be the first to say, hey, I beg, you're not my father. Why are you talking to me like that? Those are the lessons in this lesson. No, hopefully, if you need to rewind and pay attention and watch over and over again. What did he say? He said, you love your children. That's why you train them. By the way, you can't spoil a kid or an adult or claim you love them. Yeah, he didn't get it. A lot of people that watch that clip, they won't get it. It's okay. but I think we've done justice to this tonight. All right. What's the lesson here tonight? The obvious things are the obvious things. It's very obvious, and adults should clean after themselves. Okay, that's very obvious. What's not obvious is some of the nuances, the in-betweens. Okay. What are the emotions running through their mind when you say the things you say the way you say them? Right? You tend to pay more attention to it when it's your children. But when it's an quote-unquote adult, you forgot that adults do become children in romantic relationships. They do get caught up in their feelings. And if they feel wronged, they will do all the wrong things because those things will feel right. These are the issues, okay? There might be more to this, but I just want to end it like that tonight. I want to end it right there tonight, okay? And let's come back tomorrow. Let's talk more about this kind of stuff, okay? All right. Train your husband and love your children. The gist is that that's not working out for a lot of people. That's the gist, okay? All right. No, you're not saying you're training him, but the way you're acting, you might as well just say, yeah, kneel down there, make I train you. And that's not working. So on your way out, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Again, thank you so much to FakeNet for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you for everybody that stopped by tonight. I appreciate you. Kathy, good to see you. Everybody, Natu, good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Let's go have a good night's sleep. Have a fantastic week. I will try to come back around the same time tomorrow. We'll keep it to 1 hour. Okay. All right. Thank you. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.